Tyrone Jackson. This one's scheduled for 8 rounds. Here comes Jackson from Atlanta in Georgia. And he's got a very stiff task on his hands here. And as you can see, he's lost 2 more and he's won, which does not augur too well for him here, I'm afraid. Only 23 years of age. Calzaghe, well, different class. He's 22 and he's unbeaten so far in 11 professional contests. And only one man so far has lasted the distance with him. That was Bobby Joe Edwards. So Tyrone Jackson in the pro since May of 1992. Only been stopped once, and that was on a cut. And here comes Joe Calzaghe, trained by his father, Enzo. Tyrone Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue boxing with an international super middleweight contest over 8 3-minute rounds. Introducing firstly in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks, and coming from Atlanta in USA, would you please welcome Tyrone Sandman Jackson.
Well, I don't know why they call him the Sandman. Maybe he likes to play on the beach down in Atlanta.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, wearing the black trunks and hailing from Newbridge in Gwent, South Wales. As a professional, he is undefeated in 11 contests, 10 wins coming by way of KO. Joe Calzaghe.
So there's Calzaghe then. And I think he was born in Hammersmith in West London. Now living in Newbridge down in South Wales. And Italian and Welsh parentage.
Your referee for this contest, Mr. Mickey Van.
So this will be an interesting one then. And I suppose the only question to ask yourselves is, how long is Jackson going to last? That seems to be the only question we ask these days when Calzaghe steps in the ropes. Referee Mickey Van. So southpaw Calzaghe then in the black trunks. And unfortunately nothing really to recommend Tyrone Jackson here. No great names that we could expect. Ron Collins beat him. James Stokes beat... yeah, he stopped James Stokes, my apologies, in 5 rounds. In fact, 5 of Jackson's 7 wins have come inside the distance. And right from the start here, trying to put Calzaghe under a bit of pressure. Nice to see that, of course, because Calzaghe's fights generally only last a round. So, good to see someone trying to put him under some kind of pressure. And let's just see how Calzaghe copes with a man who's not afraid to come forward. And Joe Calzaghe, in consecutive years, won 3 ABA championships at different weights, a feat that hasn't been done for about 100 years or so. Well, a fair right there from Jackson. And Jackson there shakes his head, says, no, you didn't hurt me with that one. He's quite a character, this Tyrone Jackson. Lovely left hook there from Calzaghe. And ordinarily when Calzaghe hits them with those punches, they normally go. But not this man. Standing their hands down, daring him to land another. This is good work now from Calzaghe. But I wonder what psychological effect Jackson smiling at him after he gets hit will have. He can, of course, break some fighters' hearts. So we had a good spell from Jackson, but now Calzaghe taking over to finish this round pretty smartly. Oh, good right from Jackson, but he took a left at the same time. Well, that's a good round to start off. And, well, a little chuckle there from Jackson at the end of round one, and that wound Joe up a bit. So 10-9.5 then, I think, for Calzaghe in the opening round, as his father Enzo on the right. Just watch a bit of replay here. You see Jackson shaking his head. Well, it is nice to see an American who can take a shot without looking for the floor in the British ring. As I say, Jackson has only been stopped once. That was in his second pro fight on a cut. So, into round two then of a scheduled 8. Calzaghe in the black. He kind of took over with about 45 seconds to go in the opening round. Oh, well, Jackson there lands a left hook. Once again, Jackson there really is making a mockery of Calzaghe's punch power. And believe me, it's quite impressive. Well, Calzaghe working pretty solidly here. And Jackson almost saying, whatever you can do, I can do better. Well, he's quite a character, isn't he, Jackson? And you've got to wonder why he's only had 7 wins and 9 losses and a single draw. Because he does look pretty useful. I suppose it's about attitude, really. Fought most of his fights in Oklahoma and Texas, and might have had the odd bad decision along the way. Oh, good right again from Jackson. And looks like Jackson might just be giving Calzaghe a harder time than was anticipated. Well, that's nice work from Calzaghe. Good variety of punch there from Joe. But this Jackson is almost made of iron, isn't he? Well, they're both at it now, and I don't mind that. Well, once again, lively finish to the round. And here we are, nice cluster of punches from Calzaghe. cluster of punches there from Joe, and Jackson came back at him. Well, the crowd's thoroughly enjoying this one so far, and I think it's really the spirited attitude of Jackson that's making this one into an attractive fight. So only 23 years of age then, Jackson. And on this form, he might have a future if he can get the right kind of fights. Round 3 then. Well, Mickey Van there saying just cut it out. I don't really mind that. That gets the crowd something to shout about. And to the right there of the timekeeper, Frank Capewell, is Nipper Reed, the man responsible for nicking Ronnie Biggs. Or was it the Cray twins? So far this has proved to be a very useful education for Joe Calzaghe. To say there's not a great deal to learn from catching a man on the chin and seeing him fall over.
Right.
Still Jackson shakes his head. Punches there from Joe, and he is an exceptional puncher. If Carl Bar-wise, he's normally very durable in just a single round. Frank Minton went in a round as well, and Minton took Wharton into the 7th. And of course last time out, well, I'm afraid Joe Calzaghe fought a very blubbery stiff in the shape of Robert Curry. Curry went in a round as well, face first, and still Jackson walks forward smiling. Well, still a nice array of punches there from Calzaghe. And this is the kind of thing Joe Calzaghe did in his only points win. He found Bobby Joe Edwards a cruiserweight difficult to hurt, so he just relied on his boxing ability, so we know he's got it. So my prediction of not if they fall, but when they fall, seems to be untrue in this particular match. Only takes one punch, though, doesn't it?
Right.
Well, the end of another round there for Joe. So he's won the first 3, and the first 2 were very entertaining, but Mr. Van has taken the sting out of their showboating, and unfortunately it's kind of quieting the fight down a bit. And Calzaghe there walking onto a right hand and getting knocked backwards. Calzaghe scorning the stool between rounds. Round 4 then of the scheduled 8. And Tyrone Jackson comes steaming out. That was low. And Jackson doing exactly the right thing here. Trying to crowd Calzaghe, keep working. As I say, I don't mind that because it's at least teaching Joe, a few things about this game. A couple of nice lefts there from Calzaghe. Jackson does not want to leave his head there. And goodness me, he's absolutely making a mockery of Calzaghe's considerable power. But for how long, I wonder? Calzaghe really getting through now. And Mickey Van won't allow him to do this for too much longer. It's all over. Well, that's a win in 4 for Calzaghe, but I tell you what, Jackson is not happy about that. But the thing is, you can't do that in a British ring. The referee will not allow you to drop your hands and take punches like that without replying. So Jackson only got himself to blame. But sadly, it was an inconclusive ending to a very interesting fight while it lasted. Watch that again. You're not allowed to do this. But he's made of iron. And of course, as soon as they started to hurt him, he tried to get out of the way, but it was too late by then. Calzaghe in full flight here. These were good punches, no doubt about that. But he asked for it, didn't he? And Mickey Van really had no choice. You can't take 10 or 15 punches, hard punches from a known puncher without reply and with no defense. It's not good for you.
No position to continue. Winner and still undefeated, Joe Calzaghe.
And Mike Goodall still can't say his name. Joe Calzaghe then wins the 12th professional contest. And that's 11 inside the limit. And I'd like to see that one go on again, in fact. There's an angry man. Stay with us for tonight's main event.